Gotta wait for people to come back on. So I can make a formal apology for the stupid telemarketers.
There we go.
Okay.
I don't know why I have to keep looking over my
I
shoulder.
don't know. I just always do. It's one of those things.
I'm just quickly sharing this.
We're just resharing right now. Sorry about that. Resharing for part two. Sorry, everybody. A stupid telemarketer. Nope, it wasn't on your end. It wasn't on your end. A stupid telemarketer tried to call me, and I hit the ignore call,
And it froze
and it
everything.
froze the screen, and I couldn't get it back. So I had no choice but to end that, but I'm like, we still have much to discuss and talk about still. We got to go back live again. We got to pick up where we left off. Nope. Everybody's fine. It was on my end. It was a stupid telemarketer. Hashtag stupid telemarketers. I hate them.
And if you are one of them, I'm sorry.
If you are one, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Get another job. I'm just kidding. I would never tell anybody to get another job. It's how you support. But I'm not happy. So let's pick up where we left off, which we are talking about Universal Premier Pass, their highest tier.
So we got, okay, free all parking, no park reservations, and it includes the 3 parks.
Yes, it includes the water park as well. So moving on, what else does the Premier Pass offer for the parks?
The park to park pass at any time. So that's their version of a park hopper.
That's their, yes, at least correct. That's their version of a park hopper, a park to
use the
park
bathroom.
pass. That's fine. So use at any time. This is a big one, I think, when you're comparing both Disney World's Incredi Pass, because right now that's what we're talking about. The Incredi Pass, Disney's highest tier, versus Universal's highest tier, the Premier Pass. Now, when I say it's a big deal, is because as Disney as you do it now, and or if you get into the new Incredi Pass, you can park hop, but you gotta wait from 2 o'clock. Okay, 2 o'clock on, you can park hop on Disney property to other theme parks. At Universal, with their Premier Pass, you can park to park at any time. There is no, I have to wait till 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 12 o'clock. There's no clock. You go. If that park is open, you go. You can leave the park and walk to the other one, or you can take the Hogwarts Express train back and forth to those parks. I think that's a very big deal. Especially too, I think is good with that is because Universal, their theme parks, yes, they are a little bit smaller than Disney's. You know, especially studios, it's not as big, so you can. I wouldn't say you get that park done quicker. It really depends, but you have that option to be like, maybe it's a little busy here. Let's go right over there. And I don't have to wait for a time. I can just go. I think that is a very big deal. And I think a lot of people have brought that up on the social media, on the interwebs and everything else when comparing these. So I want to look. So Hogwarts Express is included because of the park to park. Correct. That is correct. That's where kind of like Universal gets you a little bit. All right. So let's say you go to Universal Studios, the studio side, right? You buy a 1 day ticket, no park to park, okay? And you go to Diagon Alley, you love it, and you're like, oh, I want to ride the Hogwarts Express. You can't ride it. That's how they get you. You can't ride it because they check your tickets, kind of like a train station would. You know, check your tickets, scan you.
Because although it's a ride, it's also a form of transportation to the other park.
Exactly. So that's where it kind of like they say like, oh, you can't ride it. You don't have the park to park. Sorry. or you can purchase it for this.
Or you can upgrade your ticket right here.
You know what? It was very smart business thinking to do that. I'm not going
That's
to
why I
lie.
always warn my family and friends when they say they're coming down to do Universal, and if I know that they're like really into Harry Potter, like that's one of the main reasons they're coming, I warn them, if you plan on riding the Hogwarts Express, you need to purchase the park to park pass.
Yes, you need to purchase that. But it's included. And like we said, you don't need any time. There's no waiting till 2 o'clock.
We've literally
Go.
done it where we've gone and entered one park and we were like, the Hogwarts Express line isn't long. And we've literally hopped on it and rode it right over to the other one where we were just there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. In and out. Over to the next.
So
Good perk. I like that. Disney's isn't bad either. You know, it's just you have to wait till 2. You know. It's not the end of the world. There's so much you can do in Disney parks, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Another perk is 10 to 20% off select merchandise. I'm going to clarify that.
I was going to as well.
You put select. There has not been one thing yet at Universal that I have not been able to get at least a 10% discount on.
No, this is where the select comes in. It's select 10 to 20. The select portion on Universal side is the
what percentage?
It's the percentage rate.
Because I literally can use my discount on Starbucks, Annie Ann's, if I just want to go purchase like a water, or I can use it on actual merchandise like the souvenirs and stuff. Universal gives a pass holder discount on everything.
Now, I will say, I think point advantage to this goes to Disney. They do give a higher percentage as Universal.
They give a higher percentage, but
yes,
you don't get it on everything.
no,
If you go to the Starbucks at the park at Disney, you're not going to be able to get a discount.
no.
But if I go to Universal and I buy a Starbucks, I'm still getting 10% off. If I want to purchase an Annie Ann's pretzel, I'm still getting 10%
You get
off.
10%. So inside the park, no matter if it's a restaurant in the park, gift shop in the park, it's 10%. Now, where that 15 or 20% comes into play is your resorts, what you purchase at the resorts, okay? You don't have to stay there. Universal resorts are all within distance. I mean, well, I shouldn't say all within distance. You can get there by any transportation, you walk around and hang out. But if you go to, let's say, Hard Rock Hotel, they're 20% off their restaurant, 15% off their gift shop. So this is where that whole 10 to 20% kind of comes into
Select
play.
as to what surprise as to what your percentage off is.
Where
gonna
you
be.
are on their property.
But you will get a discount regardless.
Regardless, you get a discount on 100% everything. Literally, like Lisa said,
Everything.
they're Starbucks.
Like if you notice at Disney, like if you're a pass holder, you don't get discounts on like your quick service meals or like your snack carts if you're going to just get like a water or a soda or whatever. You don't get discounts on that because that's not considered their select merchandise, which, I get because it's not a bigger priced item. But at Universal, like I said, you can literally purchase anything, the smallest item, and they will give you a pass holder discount.
Correct. Which is nice.
It's very nice.
Very nice. So,
There's that.
But sometimes I go to Universal and I get Starbucks and then they'll tell me the price and I almost always just pay and I'm like, oh yeah, I can use my pass. I keep forgetting that because I'm so used to not being able to have that perk anywhere else.
If they notice that it's an actual annual pass holder pass and not just a ticket, like stop playing with my phone.
Right.
They will they'll be like, oh, give me your pass so I can scan it to give you the discount. Like they don't even wait for you to ask. If they notice that you're a pass holder, they will
just scan it
for you.
Yeah. Good perk.
Okay.
Still get the
resort discounts.
Still get the resort discounts. Their prices vary, but it doesn't.
There's less hotels at Universal, obviously, than there are at Disney.
But their resorts are really nice. Even their value.
However,
They're paper thin walls
Yeah.
at the Value Resort.
When we stayed at
Dockside? Surfside.
Surfside,
Yes.
paper thin walls.
Yes.
I could literally hear everything in the hallway.
However, when they put a label, Universal, I will say this. When they put a label, Value Resort, Surfside or Dockside, it is literally a value resort at like 70 to 80 some dollars a night. As opposed to like when you go to Disney Value Resort, it's cheaper. It is. That sometimes like those All-Star Music can cost you like
120.
130 bucks, you know. It's still a value, you know what I mean?
Compared to the other hotels.
Compared to the other resorts, but I just wanted to put that was a random thought I just had, you know, just to put out there what those prices look like.
No blackout dates.
No blackout dates, so just like the Incredit Pass. Awesome.
And
Big one. This is a big one.
Express Pass after 4 p.m. unlimited. So, Express Pass.
Explain this.
Express Pass is Universal's version of a Fast Pass.
Correct.
Now, pre-COVID at Disney, you could do your Fast Pass Plus system where before you came down on vacation or if you were a local, you could get on and you could make up to 3 Fast Passes for ahead of time in one park.
And then you use your...
And then once you used your third one, then you could go and you could get your next one. Universal. Whether you are a Premier Pass and you get this Express Pass after 4 for free because it's included in your pass, or if you were just down on vacation and you purchased just the regular park ticket and then you do have to then pay, unless you stay at a deluxe resort,
Correct.
for their Express Pass, because that's an add-on to your park ticket. There is no reservation system. There is no limit. If you have purchased the Express Pass, whether because you have paid to be a Premier Pass holder or you've added it onto your regular park ticket, any ride you want to go on. If you walk up to a ride and it is 5 minutes, or you walk up to a ride and it's 5 hours as standby wait time, you show them your Express Pass and you go through the Express Pass lane. There's no reservation. You just show it and you go through. And let's say you hop off and the next ride right next to it is another long standby wait, or it's a short one and you still don't want to wait that short wait time. You just show your Express Pass and you go through the Express Pass line. There's no
limit.
No limit. There's no reservation. You literally just show the pass and you go on. Now, I think part of the reason why they probably don't do a reservation system at Universal is because Universal never offered their Express Pass for free. Correct. There was always some type of purchase. So whether you, like I said, whether you purchased the Premier Pass where you get it included in your pass, but you do have to wait until 4 o'clock, or you are just purchased a regular park ticket and then you paid the $70.
That's the starting rate.
$70 per person for the Express Pass.
And that could go anytime. Yeah.
Or if you spent the money to stay at a deluxe resort, then it was included in your park pass, but that's because you're paying more money for the resort. So I think that's why they don't do a reservation, because they are still charging you on some type of level to get this Express Pass. So I think that makes sense. If they're gonna charge that much for a pass, then we're not gonna require you to make a reservation. You just use it.
That's it. And you go. That's it.
Just use it.
I think that was very well said.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better. I don't think Universal could have said it any better.
Oh,
if they had to do a breakdown. Just saying. So that's a very good park.
Yeah.
4 o'clock?
After 4 o'clock, you get your free...
Unlimited.
Actually, I think technically, although it's advertised as after 4... No, never mind. I'm getting it confused. I was going to say, I think they actually moved it to 2, but that was Disney's Epcot After 4 pass
Yep.
that
They
because
moved.
the parks weren't open as late, they moved it that if you had the Epcot After
Yeah.
4 pass, you could come in at 2, but
No. Completely different.
yeah. Okay. And then
Big one. Another big one.
Another big perk for the Premier Pass. You get 1 free Halloween Horror Nights ticket
Included into that.
included in your pass. So
That's a big one
that's
because
a big one because Halloween Horror Nights it's an after hours pretty much event. So it's an added pay on. It's not included in your park ticket.
that usually runs 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. till about 1 o'clock in the
Midnight,
morning.
1 in the morning.
So, and that's an $85 value. It's about $85 for one Halloween Horror Night ticket.
And that's without
And that's
adding.
included.
Yeah, that's without adding the express pass
No.
on top of your
Yeah.
Halloween Horror
No,
Night.
that's just a base
Because you can get
Halloween Horror Night ticket.
Universal does offer like an express pass thing specifically for their Halloween Horror Nights. So again, if you're paying the 600, what did I say, $25? $625 a year for Universal's Premier Pass. You are getting a free express pass after 4 to use, and each pass holder gets 1 free Halloween Horror Nights ticket, which that's a big one.
And I will say, when comparing Disney's IncrediPass for $1,300 against Universal's Premier Pass, Premier is our highest tier, at $625? $625?
Yeah.
$625. It is hard, and no wonder why people are now interested at what Universal has to
There
offer.
have already been some people that have jumped ship completely and said, like when Disney announced the new system, that they've already said that they're not renewing their Disney Pass. And if they were already a Universal Pass holder, that they were just going to upgrade their Universal Pass or their, new Universal Pass holders just purchasing into the program because they're looking at the pricing, they're looking at the perks, and I don't blame them.
I've had some people who like private message me or email, us to ask, or that are now interested in asking because they know that we're both pass holders at Disney and Universal, that are just trying to get information about Universal. And, I follow them too, this and that, and they're on vacation and they show their pictures and everything and go, oh, they split their vacation. Most of the time, like families, they'll just do, let's just say, a week straight at Disney. A lot of these families now, honest to God, this is what I'm seeing. They are now splitting it. They're doing like 3 days, 4 days at Disney, and they're doing the other days at Universal just to check them out to see what they have to offer.
Now, and again, each Universal tier, you have the option of purchasing a 2-park or a 3-park. So if you're not a water park person, the Premier Pass, you still get all those perks. It's just that you wouldn't get Volcano Bay,
you get a
and
cheaper
the
price.
price would be cheaper. I don't know the exact price off the top of
No,
my
I don't know off
head.
the top of my head either.
But because you're taking away yet another park, it's going to be a little cheaper. But other than that, you still keep all those other perks with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So to reiterate, Lisa, go over one last time what the cost and the quick perks of Universal's Premier Pass, like we did for the IncrediPass.
Premier Pass, $625 per person per year for 3 parks. Free standard parking, free valet parking, and free preferred parking.
All parking included.
Includes both parks and Volcano Bay if you purchase the 3-park pass. No park reservations necessary. Park to park pass at any time, which is park hopping.
There's sense.
10 to 20% off merchandise, resort discounts, No blockout dates, express pass after 4 p.m., which is Universal's fast pass, and then the one Halloween Horror Nights ticket.
I will say, if I lived out of state and I'm looking at these passes, granted, let's say if we lived out of state and we're a bigger Disney fan. Let's just say we like Universal, but we're a bigger Disney
We're
fan.
more of a Disney.
You know what I mean? I'd look at these passes and I'd be like, oh my God, 1,300, you get this. That's cool. But then you see this 625 and you're seeing all of these perks. It really is no wonder why people are starting to question, honestly. And I'm not making that up. I in a lot of Disney Facebook groups, and if you are on any of these Disney Facebook groups or you're just curious about them, go on. Just type in your search bar in groups like Disney World Annual Pass Facebook group, and you will see every post is now about Universal, or someone's bringing it up. You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of people getting into it of comparing, and you see like these arguments and what else and whatnot. They're kind of entertaining, but people are now starting to really question things. And
Now, granted, I will still say that if you are a family with young kids, and when I say young,
yeah, this is
like
the other difference.
5,
Not much to do.
I would say that Disney's still your better bet
Yeah.
if you're looking at Disney versus Universal. Because Universal, there is not much there for kids that age. Their height requirements on their rides on average are taller because
The thrill.
the rides are more thrill. And even like with the kid rides, it just there's more thrill, I guess you could even say, with
So-
them. So
This is the best way I could break it down, because when somebody asked me, I said Disney is very nostalgic, okay? There's just some things that Disney has that Universal just can't do, okay? Like experience-wise, you know? And I agree to that. You know, Disney is very nostalgic. However, Universal is very nostalgic, but in a thrilling way, but is geared more towards adults.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
will say Disney fireworks
100% better.
100% better. I mean,
Well, Universal's not
doesn't
allowed.
do fireworks.
They're not allowed to.
They have the light show in the Hogwarts Castle. Well, I don't think they brought it back yet.
No, they did.
Okay, now they have. So they have the light show on the Hogwarts Castle over at Islands of Adventure, and then they have this water show
At
at
Studios.
Universal Studios. They're neat to see, but they are nothing compared to Disney fireworks nighttime spectaculars.
I think though, if because where Universal's located, they are legally not allowed to have fireworks. It's the district that they're in, the area, the code.
Yeah,
code
I mean,
of
at the end
conduct.
of the water show, they do set out
It's
some.
like-
It's not really fireworks
But
though. It's like
I would be curious to see if Universal was on a different like area property where they were actually allowed to do fireworks. I would wonder what it could be. I don't think it would ever compete to Disney, but curiosity, I bet you it'd be a thrilling show.
yeah.
Just it
So,
probably wouldn't compete at all.
I mean, it also depends on what you enjoy. It's hard to say now because Disney still hasn't brought back their regular parade. It's still like these cavalcades, but I would say that I did tend to enjoy Disney's parades more than I enjoyed the 3 o'clock parade or the 5 o'clock parade over at Universal. However, pre-COVID, Universal had an amazing Macy's holiday.
And that's
parade.
coming back this year.
Yeah. Last year they didn't do the parade.
They did a tour of the balloons.
Yeah, you could see the balloons, but
It was
wasn't
at like
a parade.
beginning stages of the pandemic. You know what I mean?
But that's a special, like that's a holiday parade, so we can't really compare that. But
Okay, so that was the difference between the highest tiers between Disney World and Universal. Disney's Incredi Pass versus Universal's Premier Pass. Now we're going to go over one more pass because as I said in the other live stream until the stupid telemarketer had a call, we're talking about Disney's Sorcerer Pass now, because this pass, the reason I'm going to talk about this one is because this is only for Florida residents, okay, the Sorcerer Pass. But I'm going to talk about it because Florida residents, in my opinion, are going to choose between the Sorcerer Pass and the Incredi Pass. I don't think you're really going below that. I mean,
Well,
there are
and
going to
I
be
think
some, but majority
We also,
is going to stick between
we
those
also
two.
wanted something to compare to Universal's preferred pass
Yes.
because out of state you can still, for Universal, you still have the different tier options. And so it's just easier to compare.
Exactly. And also, if you are a DVC member, Sorcerer Pass is the only pass you can get.
That's dumb.
You cannot get the Incredi Pass. Isn't that crazy? You pay a huge monthly mortgage
I was gonna
payment.
say you pay a mortgage payment each month to be a DVC member,
and
and
you're going to tell them they can't go every day. I think out of this whole thing, I think DVC got royally screwed. In my opinion. I mean, out of states did as well. But I just still can't get over that. You pay X amount of money a month to be a DVC member and you're going to put blockout dates on them.
like that.
That's a little crazy to me.
That's ridiculous.
Anyways, but we're not getting into that.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the passes. And once again, I'm reiterating that this live stream is not to persuade you to choose one company over the other. We're
Well,
just
I feel like we are doing.
But we're not, because I haven't said do this instead,
I
do that
haven't,
instead.
but-
I'm not. If
Putting
anybody,
up some good arguments for one.
well, yeah, I mean, well, that's the whole thing. You when you do a challenge of versus, you kind of have to put up some arguments. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. We're just here to give you the facts, what these prices are, because people have been questioning them or asking about them. I've seen all over the interwebs, so that's just all we're doing. You know, how you choose is how you choose. You know,
So.
that's that. So let's go into the Sorcerer Pass.
Which this is Disney, clearly. Sorcerer Pass, $900 per person per year.
This is equivalent to the Gold Pass. Okay,
The current gold.
current Gold Pass.
So, perks. Free standard parking.
Thank God, once again, free standard parking.
That's all we really wanted.
That's what
That
a
was
lot of
something
people.
we were really scared about.
Because everybody saw Disneyland's passes, and we all noticed. Everybody was like, they don't have free parking except for the highest tier. All the other passes you have to pay for. And we were like, oh my God, what are they going to do in
We're
Florida?
not going to be able to afford this.
Yeah, like that's $25 a ticket, or not a ticket a day, you know?
Free standard parking. Yay.
Thank you, Disney.
Includes all 4 parks. Makes up to 5 theme park reservations at a time. Still better than what we have now.
Still better than 3. And I said in the last live before, that stupid telemarketer had to freeze everything. I'm going to go over this again if you don't know, if you just joined the channel. What were we just talking about? I totally lost my train
The
of thought.
pass.
The what?
Reservations?
Yes, the reservations. See, my mind is crazy. It's on like baby brain. The reservations. So starting September 8th, you go from 3 to 5 reservations you can make at a time. So if you get one of these new passes out of the 4 new revamped Disney passes, September 8th on, you get 5 park reservations.
Instead
up
of
to.
3.
Now, if you are in the old system, like we're in the old system, we're platinum, and our pass doesn't run out to next year, starting September 8th, our passes get moved up from 3 to 5. So it doesn't matter. If you are on the current right now, Platinum Plus, Platinum, Gold, Silver, whatever it is, starting September 8th, you get 5 instead of your 3. So I thought that was really cool that Disney helped out the old version of the pass holders.
Okay. Park hopping after 2 p.m.
Still the same. Still exactly the same.
20% off select merchandise.
Still the same.
Resort discounts.
Correct.
Now, difference between the Sorcerer and the Incredi Pass. Sorcerer, you get blackout dates.
Correct. There are blockout dates.
So for this year, because obviously...
We'll go over the dates, and then there is a difference in the dates.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, the dates for this year for blackout, November 24th to the 27th. So
That
like
kind of
that's
sucks.
second half of Thanksgiving week, which for us, because we used to be gold members, so we had blackout dates, and Thanksgiving was never one of the
Never a blackout
blackout.
date. So
So
every Thanksgiving,
yeah, every year we've been a pass holder, we've gone to a park on Thanksgiving Day in the morning before meeting up with family in the
at like
afternoon.
2, 3 o'clock, yeah, we'd always hit up the morning, and now that's a blackout date. So I was really bummed about that. I was like, you don't get Thanksgiving anymore? That was mean.
And December 18th through the 31st.
Which was normal. That was normal.
I think actually it used to extend a little bit
I
beyond
think actually
the new
extended
year.
into,
I think
first
it was
week
like
of this January
yeah,
or something.
like it used to go through January 3rd, 4th, something like that. The difference is it used to block you out for spring break.
Now you can go.
Now you
It was
have
2
spring
weeks.
break.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks of spring break. Now you
It
can
used
go.
to be 2 weeks of spring break and like 2.5 weeks be like for Christmas to New Year's. So they've now given you spring break, but
Took away my Thanksgiving.
took away Thanksgiving.
So I mean, I guess this is kind of like a give or take.
I mean, I will say
It really
that-
depends on
and
you.
I'll be honest, Disney didn't really do anything crazy special for Thanksgiving because they were already decorated for Christmas, but it was still just nice to be able to go on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day.
just to go, and then you get like a little photo op, holding the sign that says,
It had a
you
turkey
know,
on it.
yeah, it says, Happy Thanksgiving. It was kind of cool. You walk around. We didn't really ride a lot of rides or
No,
any at
'cause it was
all. We
usually-
just walk around,
It's usually really
check out the
packed,
crowds, and just walk.
so.
There. So you lose that. But overall, Sorcerer Pass isn't that bad, especially with the blockout dates. And the reason I included that is one, because that's all DVC can get. And two, even though it's a Florida resident only pass,
Well,
it is.
Florida resident / DVC.
Yeah. It's going to be one that the Florida residents are going to choose between Sorcerer and Incredi Pass.
Probably
Because
the majority.
the blackout dates are, I will say, overall better than the original gold blackout dates. Just really bums me out about that Thanksgiving. But if I look at it as a whole, it is actually not that bad. So that's why I think Florida resident people are going to really decide between those two.
Now, we're going to compare this to the next tier down in Universal, which would be the preferred pass. Mm-hmm. And again, we're comparing this to the 3-park preferred pass. Because, again, with Universal, any tier pass you choose, they let you choose between 2-park and 3-park, which is pretty much with or without Volcano Bay, the water park. Mm-hmm. So this is the 3-park preferred pass, and it's $450 a night.
So you're going,
not a night, sorry. $450 per person per year.
So you're going from $900 on the Sorcerer to $450
So, again,
on the
you're
preferred.
splitting the price in half.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And you're losing one park, Disney being a 4-park, this one going with 3 parks.
Yeah.
So we understand that those prices are going to be a little bit more.
But I think I would not, again, I'm comparing it to if it's only a 1-park difference, that I wouldn't expect it to be half the price.
Yeah.
I would expect Universal to still be cheaper because you don't have a 4th park yet. But it's half the price.
It is.
So, free standard parking.
So you don't get the preferred, you don't get the ballet, but you still get
free parking.
free parking, no big deal.
Includes, again, because we're talking about the 3-park one, that it includes both parks and Volcano Bay. Mm-hmm. No park reservations necessary. So just like I said earlier, Universal never did a park reservation system, but just because Tony has said, like, people have asked about that.
So I just wanted to throw it in.
Because since, reopening since COVID, Universal never did a reservation system. First come, first serve, pretty much. So, park to park pass at any time. Again, that's Universal's park hopping. they don't have a time.
Yeah.
Like or Disney's is
2 o'clock
Disney
on.
used to not have one, but since COVID, it's 2 o'clock to close. Universal, you could walk
Doesn't matter.
in and 5 minutes later decide you want to go to the other one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Don't care. And I think, again, part of that is because of the Hogwarts Express. It's a ride, but it is a form of transportation. So what are they going to do? Only open that ride for half the day? No, they're going to open it.
Exactly. And that's the only reason why, I think. Not really,
Well-
but it works.
It's just Universal. 10 to 20% off select merchandise. Again, it's not really select merchandise. The select portion is what is your percentage? Because again, we have preferred. We're not premier pass holders. We have preferred passes for Universal, and you get a discount on everything.
Correct.
Everything. You could buy a pencil. You'll get at least a 10% discount.
So I always get Starbucks when I go in the park there. Get my 10% off Starbucks.
Buy one Annie Ann's,
10%.
get my discount.
Correct.
Okay. Resort discounts.
Still the same.
No blackout dates.
Still no block. That's the big one too.
And again, pre-COVID, post-COVID, being that we are preferred pass holders there, that was always the nice thing with having that, because we had we started off with the Disney Gold Pass, so anytime we were blacked out from Disney, we often tended to go to Universal more often during that time because
you weren't blocked out.
We weren't blocked out. So
there's, you lose the Express after 4. You don't get that with Universal, and you don't get the Halloween Horror Nights. So I think the big thing here that may make Universal have a slight edge, if I'm looking at perk-wise, not the experience in the park or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. Just with the perk is the fact that Disney is doing a blockout. Now, it's not much. It's like three weeks overall out of the year.
4 weeks, but you still... Universal doesn't do blockouts.
No, so that's what you're going with. Blockouts to no blockouts. That's the big thing.
Disney will give you a bigger discount.
Correct.
But you don't get a discount on everything.
It's a give and take thing.
Universal, some merchandise purchases, you may get 10%, which is less than Disney, but it's on everything. So, give and take.
And then the whole park hop to park. Park hopping starts at 2 o'clock on, which may not be a big deal because there is so much to do at Disney.
I was going to say, and I feel
that it doesn't even phase you half the time.
Yeah, like 2 o'clock, you look at your time, you're like, oh, it's 2 o'clock already.
Oh, I can go to my next park.
And again, Universal, if they would put a time, then that means that they're putting a time limit on one of their rides.
Yeah, the Hogwarts Express is what we're talking about.
So I understand why they never, even since opening post-COVID, that they never put a time on it because they have that ride.
Exactly.
And let's face it, Harry Potter World, everyone at Universal goes and experiences Harry Potter World.
Because it's Harry Potter.
So they're going to want to ride the ride. They're going to want to ride the Hogwarts Express. Plus, it's different from one park to the next. So it's not different as far as every time you go on it, but the ride...
It's a different experience.
Yeah, the ride from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley is a different experience than the ride from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade.
Correct.
So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. And that's... It. I mean, yes, Disney has 2 other passes that you could choose from: the Pixie Dust and the Pirate Pass. But those are only for Florida residents. And then, of course, Universal has. But I forget what they're called.
They have their seasonal, and then there's another one.
Yeah, I forget the other one. But yeah, you're right. Seasonal, something else.
I don't see many people have
Power Park.
Something like that.
Power Pack. Power Pack Park.
I don't know.
Power Pass? I think it's Power Pass. It's something like that.
I
Sorry.
don't know. The main ones that we see over at Universal are people either have Premier or Preferred.
Yeah. And then usually when you would go to
It's
Disney.
just kind of like Disney. It's like you never really saw too many people with the weekday select or the Epcot after 4. For the most part, it was silver, gold, platinum, or platinum plus.
Most of the time, it was still either gold or platinum.
Yeah.
You were either one of those two. Just like Universal, you were either preferred or you were
Yeah.
premiered. That's why we're comparing these to each other, because these are the most common ones, or the only ones that you can get if you're out of state, being the Credit Pass, or you live in state or a DVC member. You can only get the Sorcerer. Well, no, let me back that up. DVC, you can only get the Sorcerer Pass. Florida residents can get Sorcerer Pass, and I think they're gonna
choose between.
They're gonna have a tough time choosing between which one they want between that and the Credit Pass.
And then out of state pass holders.
Just in Credit Pass.
Just in Credit Pass.
Yes. Now, some people have asked, and I want to put this real quick, and we're going to end this because that was pretty much the system. People have asked, now, what about payment plans if you are a Florida resident? Because people have asked. Now, if you live out of state, you can't do a payment plan.
No, you just
between
pay.
Disney or Universal.
Yeah, if you are not a Florida resident and you want to purchase Disney or Universal, you are paying the full price up front.
Now, some people asked, does Universal, one, do a payment plan? And two, what's their down payment? So I want to put this on. Now, this gets a little bit...
This is where people
not interesting, but you're going to put more. Now,
so, okay. Both offer the payment plan.
Correct.
Disney's down payment, cheaper in the sense of percentage-wise of the pass that you have to put down.
It's $200. $205 now.
For which one?
It doesn't matter. $200 down.
Oh, they're just doing two. Okay.
Across the board, $205 down.
$205 down, and then whatever's left is split it.
Yeah, you want the Pirate Pass for like $300 and you want to pay a payment plan, $200 down. You want the...
At that point, you might as well just pay
the...
Pirate
But
Pass.
it really gets interesting with the Sorcerer up because $900 and then $1,300, $200 down, or $205 down for Sorcerer, $205 down for a Credit Pass. Now, on Universal side...
Universal.
You got to pay more. You do. You have to
pay
pay
When you first purchase it...
Pay half.
Yeah, when you first purchase a pass, you have to put half
the payment down.
Half the payment as your down payment.
So if it's a $600 pass...
You have to put $300
You have to put $300.
down.
Now, your monthly is going to be really cheap,
but
you have to put up more up front.
When we first moved down here, when we purchased our Universal, I think for two of us, we were paying $30 a month.
Yes.
For our Universal pass.
Together.
After we put our down payment.
But you have to put
that out. But then remember, because, we had to keep in mind, we're like, when we renewed our Universal pass, and we're like, holy cow, the monthly payment jumped up. Well, again, because you're not putting that, when you renew it, you're not putting a down payment down again. Mm-hmm. So now they're splitting the full cost of the ticket between 12 months. I mean, it was still not bad for two of us. I think what was it, $70, $80?
Something like that.
A month that we pay for two of us, and that's for 2-park preferred.
Correct.
So, yeah.
That's your big takeaways.
So, and that's, I think, why a lot of people, or especially locals, have often not purchased a Universal pass is because of the amount of money that they have to put down. So, I get it.
I do. It can be a lot to put down. Granted, it's lesser over the month, but it's just, you have to get over that first initial hump.
And depending on how many passes you're purchasing, I get it. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money.
That's right.
So
that's it. This is it. Our video has come to an end. We have given you the annual pass versus annual pass. And the reason why we did this video, this wasn't a hate on any company, Universal or Disney. This wasn't a rant video, anything like that. This was just, I wanted to put this out here because I've seen all over social media that people were just asking questions now about Universal because of the prices that Disney increased up. And they were just asking questions, how much does it cost, what the perks are, as compared to, Disney. Is it worth it? Is it not? So that's what this video was. It's not to
I've seen,
persuade you to
yeah.
go
And
one
I've seen
another.
some people comment on this live too that have said, they've thought about splitting their time, and it's not even between Universal and Disney. They're now thinking they're splitting their time between SeaWorld and Legoland. I think a lot of times too, people don't include Busch Gardens only because Busch Gardens is down in Tampa. And so it is if you're staying in the Central Florida area, like where Universal, Disney, SeaWorld is, that's still a bit of a drive to get to Busch Gardens.
I seen this person on one of the Disney World Facebook groups. There's so many of them, but it was one of them. I think it was just the annual pass holder Facebook group that they put a comparison side by side, and it makes you think when you see it. You don't think about it till you actually see it in front of you. It said Walt Disney World and Credit Pass $1,300. Then you saw, it was just so wild because I didn't even think of it really. Universal Preferred. Now, granted, Credit Pass is higher tier than Preferred Pass at Universal, but they were putting it, so in Credit Pass, $1,300. Universal Preferred, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, all the other parks, less than $1,000 if you would buy all of them. All the other parks but Disney. And it was like, wow. So, like, if I bought Universal plus, like, 4 other company parks, it's still, like, $300 cheaper.
People are
It's
asking
crazy,
if these prices include the tax.
No.
No.
These are, it does not include
Before
the tax.
tax.
Before taxes. Yeah, these, tax is high in Disney. Well, yeah, it is high in Disney, but tax is high in Florida.
Yeah.
Depending where you are in Florida, you're looking at, in the Disney bubble, it's what, 11 or 12%? 11%.
Yeah,
11%.
Disney has its own tax.
They have their own tax system. So if you guys ever get a receipt and you want to know, look at your receipt. Disney bubble has their own tax outside of Florida. No, inside of Florida, but outside the bubble.
Of like
The bubble.
Yeah.
It's like 11%. It's high. And then you get out of the Disney bubble and it's like
But still
6 or
in
7%.
like the area.
It's like 7%. It's crazy, So no, it does. These prices do not include the tax. These prices do not have any discount on them. So the prices we gave you are not like Florida resident prices. These are first time buys. These are not renewal prices. If you want to renew your pass, so say we're Platinum Pass. Let's say our thing runs out September 8th and we have to choose and we go with the Incredi Pass because that's the highest. We will, instead of paying $1,300, we have to pay $1,100 per person for the year. If you would renew with Universal, instead of the $625, it was $549, I believe it was for the renewal. Something like that. I'd have to fact check that, but it was like 500 so. Yeah, just no tax on it. So it really gives you something to think about. Now, I'm not saying do it,
Do it.
I'm saying I understand why people are looking into things.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, that they're not, I mean, it's the way it is. Because things cost money. And we're still in a pandemic and people aren't working still. You know what I mean? Some families, so a lot of families who aren't working are like, I can't afford these prices, especially out of state. You got to pay that $1,300 up front. That sucks.
And if
And
you're
it
like
does.
an average size family of 4,
And people are like,
that's a lot of money.
they're like, I can't afford that. $1,300 times 4, whatever it is, or even 900 times 4. But then they're like, well, I may be able to afford Universal. And this is where like people's curiosity goes into play, and I completely get it. I really do.
I mean, I will say, not because we didn't really talk about them, but the nice perk about purchasing, and we are not pass holders to SeaWorld, but I will say the nice perk about purchasing a SeaWorld pass holder is that you are then a pass holder to Busch Gardens, and it's good at any SeaWorld and Busch Gardens in the country.
That is nice.
So that's always a nice thing to think about.
Exactly. Because they have Busch Gardens like all over, and SeaWorlds, but I feel more Busch Gardens.
No, I feel like there's only one other SeaWorld.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot more Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
Plenty
of Busch Gardens.
Either way, that was us giving you the price point, the versus, the compare and contrast, right? So leave it in the comments below what you think. And you know what? Let me tell you. It's okay to like both parks.
What did you do to your finger?
Oh, I cut it on glass today.
Okay.
They told me to like clean out a drain at work, and I stuck my hand in, and I did not expect to have broken glass in there. And I was like, ow, what poked me? And then my whole hand was like gushing blood. Not gushing, but
Lovely.
It happens. Whatever. Everybody was like freaking out, and I was like, I just need a Band-Aid. Well, big deal. Whatever. Big boy. Tough. Well, that's it, guys.
Okay.
Leave it in the comments below. What you think overall. Are you a Disney lover that's going to check out Universal? Are you both lovers of both Disney and Universal that you're going to be pass holders of both? What are your concerns? What are your, whatever, whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about, leave it down below. If you said, yeah, you just had a really good day today, leave it below. We love it. We'll see you next time, guys. And hopefully next time, maybe there's a baby.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Vlog. Finito.